Three old fellas waiting to get into pearly gates. Y'all got time for this? Three old fellas waiting to get into pearly gates, and St. Peter asked that first fella, he said, how'd you do down on earth? He said, well, when I died, I had $1 million in the bank. St. Peter said, what'd you do with it? He said, well, I tried to do good. I raised a family and gave to the church, tried to do what's right. St. Peter said, well, that's good. You come on in. So he went on in. And then the second fellow walked up, and St. Peter said, how'd you do down on earth? He said, when I died, I had $4.5 million in the bank. He said, what'd you do with it? He said, well, I gave to the church and gave worthy causes, started some nonprofit organizations, raised a family. He said, I tried to do right. St. Peter said, well, that's good. You come on in. I asked the third fella, said, how'd you do down on earth? The fella said, when I died, I had $11.14 to my name. St. Peter said, really, which bluegrass band did you pick with? My children are hungry and my dog needs a bone.
Tim White, ladies and gentlemen.
I ain't got a job now, so I'm just driving home. An hour after sundown, and much to my delight, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Well, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything's gonna be alright. We'll have some possum gravy, oh what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Don't have to kill no chickens, don't have to open no cans. Just a little bit closer and I'll have him in my hands. I think the time has come now to go from dim to bright. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Well, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything's gonna be alright. We'll have some possum gravy, oh what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight.
Play it, Pam. Let's go, Tim.
My children are hungry and my dog needs a bone. I ain't got a job now, so I'm just driving home. An hour after sundown and much of my delight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight.
Sing along.
There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything's gonna be alright. I'll have some possum gravy, oh what a wonderful sight. There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight.
Everybody here?
Well, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything's gonna be alright. We'll have some possum gravy.
It's not a repeat, is it?
There's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Yes, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight.
All right, let's see. So everybody's able to hear, and no, it's not a repeat. Is everybody? That's Tim White, ladies and gentlemen. Is everybody picking me up on the live show tonight? It's live. Oh no, it's not. Wait a minute. The live show on Facebook, but not over on YouTube. Let me fix this. And while we do that, we'll go ahead and let you hear Tim singing "King of the Left Hand Lane." All right, so this is Tim White, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to go check him out, he is nice enough to let us play some of this music and stuff here on the podcast. And if you head over to, I guess probably the best place to go to would be the Tim White Bluegrass Show, which is this site right here. I'm going to head over to YouTube and fix this for everybody. But y'all just talk amongst yourself while I fix it. Evidently, I didn't put the right link out. So let me work on that, and we'll get this thing going. All right, hold on. Time out. Let me play for Tim, and then I'll get going.
I got nowhere to go. I got nothing to do but just poke around right in front of you. And I don't care if I drive you insane, 'cause I'm the king of the left-hand lane. I may be unemployed, I may be saving on gas, but one thing's for sure, you ain't gonna pass. My goal in life is just to cause you some pain, 'cause I'm the king of the left-hand lane. It don't do no good to get uptight. Why just go around, but do it on the right. I'm in no rush as I travel along. I got things to do on my cell phone, and driving this car, it really ain't on my brain. 'Cause I'm the king of the left-hand lane. And I don't care that you're on my tail, and I can't hear what you cuss and yell. Why don't flash and blow, 'cause it's all in vain. 'Cause I'm the king of the left-hand lane. It don't do no good to get uptight. Just go around, but do it on the right. I got nowhere to go, I got nothing to do but just poke around right in front of you. And I don't care if I drive you insane, 'cause I'm the king of the left-hand lane. Yes, I'm the king of the left-hand lane.
All right. Thank you, Tim White. And now I believe I got everybody online. Thanks again to Tim White. And Tim, you can check him out at the Tim White Bluegrass Show. If you'd like to see stuff to do with that, there's Tim right there. The Tim White Bluegrass Show is the link that you'd want to go to. I'm making sure that I'm getting it right. Yep, .com. And that'll take you to see Tim. You can report a possum. There's a possum spotters club, and Tim has all kinds of fun stuff out there, including his links to his VW Boys stuff and the Song of the Mountains, all kinds of great stuff. Head out to it's the Tim White Bluegrass Show. All right, so hey everybody. Had a little mistake. I didn't get the live.2chairsnowaiting website ready to go. So if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube and you want to be in this chat room where everybody was going, where's this week's show? Well, this is where you'd go. You go to live.2chairsnowaiting.com and you can be a part of it. You can be right here with us. So again, thanks to Tim for the entertainment while I was getting everything fixed up. He's used to that. He's a picker. He's used to filling in while somebody's string is broken. So I guess my string was broken. Need bigger wires. All right, everybody. I hope you've had a great week. It's been, some of you may have had a day off today. It was Columbus Day here in the U.S. So hopefully some of you guys had a day off. I did because I'm a federal employee. Yeah. And, so, it's the day of the year I get to be off when nobody else is. Everybody else is working. Me and the post office, we get to take the day off. Everybody else has to go to work and enjoy themselves. So let's see what else is going on this week. We're going to be doing the trivia tonight, so I hope everybody is ready for the trivia contest. We're going to be doing trivia. Yep, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. Trivia. So we should be able to have some fun here. Let's see. Anything else going on that I can think of? We got some new stuff over at Weavers, so you folks might want to go and check out around Weavers. It's getting close to Christmas time. We're heading that direction, especially if you're ordering things. So order to get them there. You need them. I saw that Danny, he ordered a hat. So we're going to talk about the hat tonight just because, why not? I like the hat too. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm getting everything ready. Since I obviously did not get that one thing ready, I'm making sure other stuff will actually work when I actually start to try to go to it. What else? Close that. So I just cannot show Facebook anymore because Facebook pops up stuff and there's just no way to show you guys what Facebook's looking like anymore. It's unbelievable. The way they've changed the way it's laid out and everything online or on the desktop version, it's just made it almost impossible. All right, so let's see. Let me make sure my music's working. There we go. Now it's working. All right, let's see. I didn't need to say who's in our chat room here. So if you've hopefully been able to join us, I see 44 folks in there. Let's see. Leonard Blush and Miss Ellie, Kathy Hinkley, Johnny Paul Jason, Briscoe 2 is in the room. So I think that's Bo. It's good to see you, Bo. Kentucky Mike, Susan, Carolina Cody, Sam Jones, Roger, Lydia Crosswaith, Chris Gomer, he's here. Good to see you, Go. Miss Mayberry, Sarah Blaine is here. Emmett Clark, Milo Boys, Ran and Dan, they're both here. Wason and Mona Cooper, Goober Fife, Dennis Asa Blaine, Skinny Griffin. Miss Mayberry's in here twice. And something's happening here. Let's see. Rascal, Briscoe, Brisket, Old Barn, Gone Pile, Paul and Paul. I think it's Paul and Paula from PA, but it's Paul and Paul. Leonard Blue. It's not got Blush. It's just Blue. And Jim Sherrill. Jim Sherrill's in the room too. So anyway, we got 40 some odd people in the chat room. It's good to see you all here. If you'd like to be a part of it and you're watching over at YouTube or on Facebook, you can go to live.2chairsnowaiting and be in the chat room with all these fine folks and visit with them. So for some reason, the iMayberry community is on 106. Yeah, you're going to have to reload, Kathy. You're going to have to refresh your browser, and then you should be able to see it. So that was the problem. That was my fault. I didn't get it. I didn't get the link updated, evidently. Thought I did, but I didn't. All right, guys. I am ready to get the show going. We're going to be doing trivia tonight. And let's see. We'll talk after the show a little bit. So the trivia tonight, we're going to be doing the qualifying round trivia of the episode of the Mayberry Days trivia. See, it throws me off when we have a problem. I'm running late, so let's get this show going. All right, cover you guys up, and we'll get started. Now I'm humming Tim's song. King, I'm the king of the left-hand lane. All right. Yeah, so Jim wins, but this is the qualifying round. He didn't actually play in this round. He didn't have to play. All right, everybody ready? I think I'm all set. Let's try this. Chairs No Waiting, episode number 602, Mayberry Days Trivia 2020 qualifying round. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the folks over at WeaversDepartmentStore.com. Drop by over at Weavers and check out some of the great new Mayberry items they've got. We got a Mayberry Patrol Car emblem embroidered hat. That's a nice tan hat, nice cap. It's got the Mayberry squad car emblem on it. If you like that, you might want to check out the squad car emblem ornament. It's made out of wood. It's really cool. You can hang it on your tree, and might as well go ahead and get you some stickers as you're going. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and check it out. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners like you. The executive producer of episode number 602 is Rick Grimsley. Rick Grimsley, he plays Henry Bennett. Henry Bennett. He's our tribute artist for Henry. So thank you, Rick, for sponsoring the podcast episode. We really appreciate it. Or I should say, I really appreciate it. Who am I? I'm Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting, and it is great to be here in Mayberry with you. Now, this is not what we're going to talk about tonight. We are going to be doing our trivia, and we're also going to hear from Randy Turner with This Week in Mayberry History about No Time for Sergeants. It's his second part of that. But I do want to mention that I just wrapped up the 12th year of Two Chairs No Waiting. So this has been a big few weeks here. We've had the 30th anniversary of Mayberry Days, which was actually the 31st Mayberry Days. We had the 60th anniversary of the Andy Griffith Show, and we just passed our 12th year, finished our 12th year of podcasting here on Two Chairs No Waiting. So now we're going into 12 plus 1 years. Yeah, I'm just being cautious. I'm being cautious. Especially since Henry Bennett is the sponsor of the podcast. I really didn't want to say what number of year this is, but I'm just saying. So I thought it would be fitting for Henry to be or for Rick to be the sponsor, or for the executive producer of the first episode of our 13th year of Two Chairs No Waiting. So thanks, Rick. I do appreciate it. It's 2020. I mean, good grief. I think the jinx stuff is over. So we're going to be doing as I said, the trivia contest from 2020, from Mayberry Days 2020. Now that trivia contest is broken up into parts. So there's more than this, really. There's a youth trivia contest, and there's a trivia contest for adults. Some people call it the adult trivia contest. That doesn't seem right, so I don't say it that way. It's the trivia contest for the adults. And the trivia contest for the adults is broken into two parts. There is the qualifying round, and then there's the finals, which is made up of the past champions from Mayberry Days and the winner of the youth trivia and the qualifiers from this that we're going to do today, whenever you're listening, the qualifying round of the trivia contest. So we do this every year. We've been doing this for 5 years now. This is how we've been doing it. And the same guy has won the finals all 5 years. So I'll just go ahead and tell you that because he deserves some praise. He's in our chat room as I record. So for our 5th time in a row, Jim Sherrill is the champion of Mayberry Days Trivia. Now, that said, Jim didn't have to play this round. This is the qualifying round. He was already pre-qualified to be in the finals. So we're all going to play the finals of trivia. So go ahead and grab your pen and pencil or whatever you might have that you're going to use to keep up with your score, because it's just a how many did you get right score. So there's going to be 16 questions. So how many did you get right? We're going to head over to the Mayberry Trivia. So I'm going to play some trivia playing music. So let's go with this one from the VW Boys. Thank you very much. Little Mockingbird. So just a little background to help you think. Trivia music. All right, so everybody ready? So here we go. Mayberry Days Trivia, the 2020 qualifying round. 2020 qualifying round. All right, so I'm going to read you the question, and then you'll have a chance to answer, and then I will tell you the answer. If you would like to wait, you can pause, because it's a podcast. Here we go. Question number 1. Opie sometimes stays with a neighbor who feeds him grits and prunes. Name this neighbor. Opie sometimes stays with a neighbor who feeds him grits and prunes. Name this neighbor. So folks in the chat room are trying to get their answers in, and we'll see if anybody gets it. The answer is, who feeds Opie grits and prunes when he goes to see there? All right. The answer is Miss Maker. Miss Maker. She's in episode number 96. So if you'd like to check that out, 96. All right. So Miss Maker, that's question 1. So mark it down if you got it right. Mark it if you got it right. Next up is question 2. Who transferred the Mayberry insignia onto Barney's sidecar? Who transferred the Mayberry insignia onto Barney's sidecar? Oh, these are hard, aren't they? Remember, this is the qualifying round for the Super Bowl of Mayberry Trivia. Who transferred the Mayberry insignia onto Barney's sidecar? It's question number 2. The answer is, pause if you don't want to know. The answer is Charlie Phelps. Charlie Phelps is the one who transferred the insignia onto Barney's sidecar. That is from episode number 112. So I'm seeing folks in the chat room getting it right. All right, good job, guys. All right, number 3. Question number 3. Here we go. Andy states that Charlene is how many years younger than himself? Okay. Andy states that Charlene is how many years younger than himself? All right. These are a little harder because this is the qualifying round to get into it. Okay, so we ask these questions and people go up and whisper the answer into a judge's ear, and the judge either says yes and gives them a sticker that says that they got it right, or no, and you have to go back. Okay. So Andy states Charlene is how many years younger than himself? The answer is, this is question 3, the answer is 15 years. 15 years younger. That's from episode number 121. So you're going to go and check our answers and make sure we're right. Question number 4. Barney's voice teacher, Eleanor Poultice, also teaches 2 other talents. Name them. Oh, you got to get them both too. Barney's voice teacher, Eleanor Poultice, also teaches 2 other talents. Name them. Got to name them. All right. Here's the answer. Piano and dance. Piano and dance. It's not breathing. No, that's not it. It's from episode number 116. 116. Piano and dance. All right. Number 5. Number 5. What is Opie's football jersey number? What is Opie's football jersey number? Oh. What is Opie's football jersey number? The answer is 14. 14 is his number. His number is 14. That's from episode number 110. 110. I see some folks in the chat room are getting it right. Congratulations to them. All right, number 6. Number 6. Who is working with Helen on the Walker grading manual? Who is working with Helen on the Walker grading manual? Boy, these are hard. This is number 6. Who is working with Helen on the Walker grading manual? All right. Pause if you don't want to know, but the answer to the question is Frank Smith. Frank Smith. That's from episode number 163 of the Andy Griffith Show. That's who was working with Helen on the grading manual. All right. Number seven. Aunt Bee is hired by a phony print shop on Main Street in Mayberry. What was her weekly salary? Oh my goodness. Aunt Bee is hired by a phony print shop in Mayberry down on Main Street. What was her weekly salary? All right, you can go ahead and just guess. If you don't know, you can guess this one because it's got to be a number. All right. Aunt Bee is hired by a phony print shop on Main Street in Mayberry. What was her weekly salary? All right, her weekly salary was, the answer to number 7 is $30 a week. It's $30 a week. And that's from episode number 171. 171. How you doing? That was 7 questions. Have you gotten 7? How about 3? I think you're doing pretty good if you got about 3. All right. I don't know how our chat room's doing. The numbers are flowing in. It's hard for me to track. So you guys are keeping up with your own scores. They'll let me know, and I'll tell you at the end. That way you'll have a better idea of how you're doing. Number 8. Who refers to makeup as female war paint? Who refers to makeup as female war paint? All right. This is somebody who refers to makeup as female war paint. Okay. So the answer to number 8 is Andy. Andy does that. It's episode number 27. So the chat room is behind, so I can see what they're scoring. 4 of 7 is what I think Cody said that they got. So there's folks are doing okay. 3 or 4, that's not bad. All right, Andy was who referred to makeup as female war paint, and that was from episode number 27. Number 9, a handyman named Henry Wheeler stops by and Aunt Bee hires him to spray her roses. What did Mr. Wheeler claim to have once owned and operated? Oh, woo, that's a hard one. So handyman Henry Wheeler stopped by and Aunt Bee hired him to spray her roses. What did Mr. Wheeler claim to have once owned and operated? What did he claim to have owned and operated, Mr. Wheeler? All right. The answer, because this one's kind of hard. The answer is he claimed to have owned and operated a hardware store. A hardware store. That's from episode number 38. 38. It's not a coal mine or the Petticoat Junction Hotel. That is a good guess from the chat room from Rascal, the Petticoat Junction Hotel. But that is not, that is incorrect. The answer is hardware store. Number 10. Here we go. We're getting close to the end already. Woo. Number 10. Andy once borrowed a sewing machine from whom? Andy once borrowed a sewing machine from whom? From whom did Andy once borrow a sewing machine? If I read it different, does it help? I don't know the answer, but Andy, you're going to have to pause if you don't want to know the answer. Andy once borrowed a sewing machine from Louise Palmer. Louise Palmer. That's from episode number 100. 100, not 99, but 100. So that is Louise Palmer is who Andy borrowed the sewing machine from. All right, now we're to number 11. Number 11. In high school, Aunt Bee received straight A's in what subject? In high school, Aunt Bee received straight A's in what subject? What subject did Aunt Bee receive straight A's in? All right. The answer is she received straight A's in chemistry. Chemistry. That's from episode number 157. Chemistry. Wow. Aunt Bee's pretty smart. I wasn't that good at chemistry. All right, that's number 11. How you doing? How you doing? Nobody in the chat room seems to have gotten chemistry. I'm not seeing it. The question number 12. Otis once got gassed and drove his car right through whose rose garden? Otis once got gassed and drove his car right through whose rose garden? Whose rose garden? I didn't remember this one at all. Okay. Otis once got gassed and drove his car right through whose rose garden? He drove his car through the Harper's rose garden. The Harper's. That was in episode number 161. 161. Okay. The Harper's. That's whose rose garden he drove his car through. All right. Number 13. Number 13. We may be getting close to the end here. Number 13. Where did Goober study art? Where did Goober study art? That's a funny question. I just don't. All right. Where did Goober study art? I don't know the answer. But Goober, not Gooby, Goober studied art in Bible school. That's where he studied art. That was from episode number 175. So in Bible school, they did art, like macaroni gluing and things like that. So that was good. Yep, they're color episodes. This is an Andy Griffith Show trivia. This is not for the faint of heart. You have to know the answers. Doesn't matter. Color episodes are part of the Andy Griffith Show. All right, here we go. Number 14. We have many left here. Number 14. Aunt B buys a car that was previously owned by whom? Aunt B buys a car that was previously owned by whom? Let's see how you can do here. Aunt B previously buys a car that was, Aunt B buys a car that was previously owned by, here's the answer, is previously owned by Jed Kuntz. Jed Kuntz. That's right. That's from episode number 180. 180. Jed Kuntz is the one who owned it. Yep, that's where he got it. All right, I think we've got a couple more questions. Here we go. Number 15. Jed Kuntz. I'll give, Big Maud, they got it. All right. Number 15. Who does Opie claim gets good grades because they're Miss Crump's pet? Who? It should probably be whom. I don't know. Whom does Opie claim gets good grades because they are Miss Crump's pet? Oh, there you go. See who can get this one. I would never get it. Who does Opie claim gets good grades because they are Miss Crump's pet? All right. This is probably a color episode too. The answer is Barbie Tyler. That's from episode number 103. That's not color, I don't think. Wait, no. Yeah, I guess that is color. Because 90 of them were in black and white. So that's a color. Barbie Tyler was her name. Barbie Tyler. It wasn't Gooby, because that's, I said that earlier. They're saying that in the chat room. Gooby is not the right answer. Barbie Tyler is who Opie claimed got good grades because she was Miss Crump's pet. All right. Here we go. The last question, number 16. You ready? Here it comes. Farmer Jeff Pruitt comes to Mayberry in search of a wife. Jeff tells Andy that his old girlfriend, Bertha, can do 3 things. Okay? She can milk cows, she can call hogs, and name that third thing. What is it? All right. So Farmer Jeff Pruitt comes to Mayberry searching for a wife, picking them up on the street corner. Jeff tells Andy that his old girlfriend, Bertha, she can do 3 things. She can milk cows, she can call hogs, and blank. Name that third thing. What is it? Oh, Jeff Pruitt. Jeff Pruitt said his old girlfriend can do 3 things: milk cows, call hogs, and here's the final answer. What's that last thing? The last thing is pick tobacco. She can pick tobacco. Emmett in the chat room, he got cutting tobacco. I'll give him that. And he's picking tobacco. That's episode number 45 of the show. All right, guys, that is the qualifying round of Mayberry Days trivia. Qualifying round. There it was. How did you do? The folks in the chat room are going to start adding up their numbers in a few minutes here and let us know. And I'll try to report back on that. I want to thank Kenneth Junkin, Otis, for putting together these trivia questions for us every year during the trivia contest. So this is our qualifying round. In coming weeks, we'll have an episode going through the finals, the final Super Bowl of Mayberry Trivia finals. We'll do that. All right. So I want to thank Ken for doing that and just pulling together these great questions for us. It's always fun just to play these, and you can see how hard they were. Now this year it was actually raining, so it was raining. So there was a lesser number of folks than normal that played, but I think the qualifiers, if I remember correctly, got 14 and maybe 13 were the numbers they got, right? So 14 and 13. So that's it. So let's see, in the chat room, I'm seeing we had one person, Cody, I'm seeing 7 of 16. That's not too bad. Several 3s, but got 3 right. I told you, if you get 3 or 4 of these right, you're doing pretty good. Honestly, these are always hard. They're always hard questions because they have to be. Lydia got 14. What? Did you get 14 right, Lydia? Good job. So I think 14 was the person who actually qualified got 14 of the 16 questions, I believe. Yeah. So, oh, they all got 14. No, not number 14, 14 total. Not question 14. They got 14 of 16 correct answers. So there you go. All right. So let's go and hear from Randy Turner with This Week in Mayberry History. I think we're going to hear from him. Randy's being shy there. So let's see if I can get it. Yeah, Randy's not wanting to come play with us. There he is.
Welcome to This Week in Mayberry History, a report by special correspondent Randy Turner of the Gomer and Cooper Pyle Comic Book Literary Guild of the Mayberry Historical Society.
This week, we continue our discussion of how the 1954 book No Time for Sergeants eventually led to Andy Griffith becoming a better-known national figure. Andy was already known for his comedy monologues. He had recorded the best known of his comedy routines, What It Was Football, on a regional record label. When it proved to be extremely popular in the South, the national record company, Capitol Records, sent a representative to license the record for a national release. That representative was Richard O. Link, who eventually became Andy's manager and business partner. Link arranged for Andy to sign with the William Morris Talent Agency, and quickly Andy was to appear on Ed Sullivan's popular show, which at that time was called Toast of the Town. Sure that Andy would be a success, Sullivan had prearranged for Andy to make a number of additional appearances to share his monologues. However, and as difficult as it is to understand now, Andy performed on Ed Sullivan's popular show and flopped. Sullivan then withdrew his original invitation for additional appearances. William Morris's president, Abe Lastfogel, felt Andy's problem was adjusting his timing as dictated by the audience's reaction. He suggested Andy tour venues throughout the South for a couple of years to hone his skills of live performance. Andy did just that, working steadily between venues for more than a year. While driving, he would listen to the radio. And at some point during his travels, someone gave him a copy of Mack Hyman's 1955 bestseller, No Time for Sergeants. I pointed out last week that one can almost hear Andy's voice when reading the book, which is written in the first person. Andy himself realized that this would be perfect material for him, and he tried to contact Hyman to get permission to adapt parts of the book as comedy monologues. He was, of course, eventually told no. He was also told that the popular book was already planned to become a televised play and then a Broadway show. Andy's curiosity turned out to be good luck, though, as he was told about this before it had been widely announced. The first step of No Time for Sergeants' planned trajectory was the televised play. This was planned as an episode of the popular anthology TV series, The United States Steel Hour. An audition was arranged for Andy. He later told the story of how he won the role. He described being asked by a secretary while he waited what he did, and he responded, "I talk." She asked about what, and he told her Romeo and Juliet, the opera Carmen, and those types of things. When she naturally asked what he meant, he started doing one of the routines for her. At first, people in nearby offices heard him and came out to see for themselves. The laughter soon drew others out of their offices, and some went to get others so they would hear too. Andy observed later that he knew that this sounded like something from a movie, but that it really happened. And when he finished his monologue, the starring role of Will Stockdale was his. The teleplay was written by a young Ira Levin, who would eventually be well known as the author of books such as The Stepford Wives and Rosemary's Baby. The televised version had to be shortened considerably to fit into the time slot of a single episode of a TV series. For example, the events in the book that I discussed last week and the subsequent description of just how Will ended up in the barracks supervised by Sergeant King took up the first 40 pages of the book over 4 chapters. In the television version, they're summarized by Will in just the first 30 seconds of the broadcast. Just as the book was written in the first person, the TV version has Will, as played by Andy, frequently break the fourth wall, looking directly at the camera and speaking to the viewers. We'll discuss the televised No Time for Sergeants more next week in part 3 of this special series of reports. Well, that's it for this week. As always, thanks for listening. And remember to take care of yourselves and others, and follow Andy's advice, and go out there and act like somebody.
Wow, thank you, Randy. He always comes up with such good stuff, doesn't he? If you want to make sure you don't miss any of the really cool stuff that Randy comes up with about the Andy Griffith Show, send him an email at turnersgrade@gmail.com, turnersgrade@gmail.com, and he'll make sure that you don't miss out on any of the fun stuff he keeps coming up with. So thank you, Randy, for sending in that report. And I don't know why I couldn't get it to play, but it played, and I'm not going to edit it, so you guys can enjoy the mistake I partially made. Now, Randy is going to be talking about, just so you know, I'm going to put a link in in our show notes, but the television version, the televised teleplay that was back in 1955 from the U.S. Steel Hour you can find that online. It's at archive.org. There'll be a link in our show notes, about that. So you'll be able to go and watch that if you would like to. It's only about an hour long. It's not as long as the movie. As he said, he had to cut out a whole lot of stuff out of that to make it fit a television length. It's about 53 minutes long or something like that. So definitely something I think you would enjoy. It's the same basic story. It's just the Reader's Digest version. So thanks again, Randy, for that. I want to thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed the trivia. So just to give you a report, the folks in the chat room, we got about 43 people in there tonight. Basically, those that reported, only one, which was Cody. Good job, Cody. He got about 7. He got 7 out of 16. So that was really good. But basically, the normal rest of the crowd were getting between 1 to 4 is in that range. There was a lot of 3s, a few 4s maybe, and some that just didn't tell me. Sam Jones is in there, and Sam got 5 right, but he was one of the judges during the Mayberry Days trivia. So had he not been a judge, I'm not quite sure how he would have done. He was one of the judges that people come up and whisper the answer to, and he still only got 5 right. So that's how hard these are. The judges can't remember the answers either. So, so don't feel bad if you didn't get them all. This was not the fun trivia that I do from time to time. This is the qualifying round for the Super Bowl of Mayberry Trivia, the Mayberry Days Trivia 2020. So I hope you liked it. For those that couldn't be there for Mayberry Days because of one reason or the other, or the rain kept you away, hopefully this gives you just a little bit of taste of the fun that we had during Mayberry Days. Guys, it is always great to spend time here in Mayberry with you, and I would love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. If you listen to the podcast or watch the video and you did better or like to brag on how well you did on your trivialities, feel free to send that in. And you can do it by sending it to Floyd at imayberry.com, or just leave comments there on the show notes page at twochairsnowaiting.com. You can just comment under this episode, and everybody will see how you did, and you'll be able to brag and feel good about it, or make other people feel good because you didn't get any. Because I don't know, I'm not sure I would have gotten any. But folks, I hope you have enjoyed it. We'll see you next week right here on Two Chairs. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see how the chat room's doing. So yeah, I couldn't get Randy to play. It wouldn't play for me, but it finally did. So some of you guys are talking about liking the kids trivia. Now, I should have mentioned that. I didn't. I will next time. The kids trivia winners, there was a winner, and then to get to second place, they had to go through like 5 different questions or something to be able to declare a winner in that. So what we ended up doing, especially since it was rainy and stuff, we ended up let the winner of the youth trivia plus the 2 that had tied for second they got to compete during the finals against the adults. And at least the winner, she got at least a few points, which is pretty impressive. It's not very easy to score points. And Jim won. And Jim, if you remember who came in second, if you could send that to me, I'd like to know that, because Jim Sherrill came in first again. This was his 5th year. And I think I'm wanting to say that Pat Bullins won like 9 years she won 9 times, not in a row necessarily, but 9 times. So Jim's heading toward that direction, I think. Is it 9? Is that right? So at some point we may have to pull something like we do on Jeopardy back in the old days. Once you've won a certain number, you go into the greatest of all time category and can no longer compete against normal humans. So, I'm at the trivia level of what's Andy's last name. That's what Rascal said. Oh, yeah. So that's okay. This is all about having fun, not about it if you actually know. Mike Jones, is that really his name, Jim? Jim sure his name was Mike Jones. Well, that should be a disqualifier. He was on the show. Oh, Mike Jones. Mike Jones. He must have grown up and he's playing trivia. So that's Sam Jones' son, Mike. All right. He was the one that came in second. That's good. Pat was in it. She probably came in about third, if I had to remember, third or so, but we didn't have to get down to that level. 9 times is what, Jim's saying. She was there and she was in it. She was doing pretty good too. She just didn't, Jim was slow starting this year. He wasn't as dominant in the first round. Second round though, he took off and he scored a lot of points. I think it came down between Mike Jones and Dennis they were basically tied for second, if I remember right. So it was pretty impressive. So I put the link in the chat room there for you guys. I'll paste it in there again. That is the No Time for Sergeants teleplay that Randy was talking about. It will be in our show notes as well. So you guys can go and watch that. And Pat did good as well. Pat was, I believe, she was probably fourth. I mean, she was right there at it. And the team was really good. Did somebody tell the team's name? I don't see that. Yeah, but the teen, she did really well. She was doing good. She started off well. The teen was beating him in the very beginning, and then the kids are faster on the clicker. So what you end up having to do, you have to hold the clicker in your hand, and when I read it, I read the question, and then I read it again. And as soon as I finish reading it, then you can hit a thing. What a lot of the people I think do is they start clicking it before I finish reading, and it locks you out. And I basically, as soon as I say the last word, I push the button to release the button. So it's like, if I was reading it like tonight's questions, let's pick a short one. I would read it multiple times, like I would say, who transferred the Mayberry insignia onto Barney's sidecar? Who transferred the Mayberry insignia into Barney's sidecar? And boy, I hit, as soon as I say sidecar, as soon as I say the word that comes out of my mouth, I hit it. And I try to read it the same way both times so that they have they're ready to click in right when I get to the end. And somehow I think some of the folks, they always get a little fast on the clicker. Like when I say Barney's side, they start hitting the button instead of sidecar. So I should say car. Then I hit it. Because it locks you out for just a second. That's not a second, milliseconds. But I do believe that's probably what helps him get in there. Oh, let's see. What else is going on? So Cody reminded me of this. This is Carolina Cody. There's another Cody that you guys may remember and I'm going to try to get him on so I can interview him. I've been saying this forever. And that particular Cody had written me 10 years ago, talking about, his, he had gone through cancer, and listening to the podcast. This podcast had helped him get through all the treatments and just kept his spirits up. I'm like, man, what an amazing story. I don't know if you guys remember that. I have never forgotten it. I think I mentioned it last week on the podcast. Anyway, I heard from him recently, and I friended him on Facebook. I was never friends with him before. So I'll admit to you guys that I have watched, since it began in like 2004, I watched Ghost Hunters, the TV show, Ghost Hunters. I've been watching it. I always have watched it. Well, I noticed, and they're called they're the Atlantic Paranormal Society. The Atlantic is TAPS. The Atlantic Paranormal. Yeah, I think he's from Boston area. Yes. And he, anyway, he so he had, when I went to his Facebook page, I said, oh, look, he likes the show too. And then I started looking and I realized, oh my goodness, he is on the show. And I've been watching him for at least a while, because he's been there, he said about 6 years. He's been involved with it, but he hadn't been on the show, I don't think, until fairly recently in the last year. But I was like, oh my gosh. Anyway, I just thought it was really, it's been blowing my mind a little bit that this show that I watched, it's got nothing to do with the Andy Griffith Show, has somebody on it that I've been talking about getting in here to interview about when he had cancer. And there he was on the show. I was like, was that you that saw the ghost dog? And he was like, yeah, that's me. So I was like, anyway, it was awesome. So it was pretty cool. So it was pretty cool. Anyway, I just thought that was neat that, I didn't recognize him because I've never seen him. He just written here the podcast 10 years ago, by the way, and I'd never forgotten his story. So just amazes me. It amazes me the connections at the Andy Griffith Show and the impact it's had on my life with just all the amazing people I've been able to meet and hear from and just get to know over these years. So thank you all, because you guys in the chat room, you guys watching, you're what keeps me going back through all this, just looking at the things that have been going on and things have been happening. So it's been pretty great. So what's Goober Fife saying in here? So Goober's tomorrow is when you're going in. Okay, so he's having some stuff done. So we'll definitely have you in our prayers, Goober Fife. Definitely for that. So anyway, it just really is amazing. You amazing people, all of us, this Mayberry family, has just the impact it's had on me. And it's just still amazes me when I just run up against people. And I got to be in a movie. Yeah, that's right. I got to be in a movie as well. So I'm really looking forward to that movie. Gosh, I'm really looking forward to that thing coming out because I really want to see it now. Now that we've basically finished with it and everything, I really want to see that thing. So Goober Fife can go back and listen to all my podcast episodes, and it'll help him recover. Oh, poor thing. So, we'll definitely be praying for you, Goober. So definitely. Let's see. What else has been going on? That's about it. I think that's about all I've been doing, watching. I'm just thankful there's actually things on TV to watch that keeps me busy. I installed a smart heating and air controller in my house today. We'll see how that goes. I just did that. So it's smart. It's supposed to, keep the house the same temperature all over the place. We'll see. We'll see how that works. And I think that's about all I've got for tonight, guys. But I definitely want to encourage you to go and check out that link to the No Time for Sergeants. I think you'll like that. That'll be fun. And I guess that's it. Jan's sneaking through. You want me to pan over to you? Nope. No? So guys, thanks for being here. And I really do appreciate everything you guys do. And I think we'll start getting on out of here on time. But good luck tomorrow, Goober Fife. And you'll definitely be in our thoughts and prayers. So, folks, I'd love to hear from you. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415. You can be a part of the podcast. Love to have you. So we'll see what we're going to do next week. I have no idea. We will do some more Zoom meetings. I just have not had a chance to pull one together. I thought about doing one this past weekend because of the 60th anniversary, but there was just too much going on. Too many things happening. But we'll get one here in the near future. I think we're going to have a virtual cruise. We're going to still try to do that in the next few weeks. So it'll be fun. All right, guys, y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next time right here on Two Chairs. Good night, everybody.